The new Avatar series is currently in production and set to release new content by 2025. Although details are scarce, it has been confirmed that the new Avatar will be an Earthbender. Following the conclusion of the Legend of Korra series, fans have been eagerly anticipating fresh content, with many creating their own series such as The Legend of Genji. A lot of people are mistaken and think that he is the new Avatar, while in truth he is not, and today I want to talk about him, how strong the new Avatar will be, and what his possible story arc will be. But before starting, if you like this kind of content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. I hope you all have a great day. Now let's start the video. If you're watching this video, I'm pretty sure that you already know that the new series about the new Avatar has officially been announced. I won't talk much about it since I'm pretty sure a lot of videos have already covered this topic. But what I find most interesting about that is that the Avatar studios are finally utilizing the vast potential of the series. We will have the adult Aang movie accompanied by the new Avatar series, followed by a solo movie about Zuko, and it is also revealed that they plan to release 2 new spin-off series set to debut in 2026 and 2027 respectively. We don't know what the series will be about, but I assume it will be about Avatar Kyoshi and Yang Chen, who also got their own novels. I'm very happy that Avatar Studios have already planned out what they'll do for upcoming years, and I'm finally happy that I'll have something to look forward to during my 20s. Okay, enough with the news. Let's talk about the world of the new Avatar. Well, we all know that the Avatar world is a fantasy world, and the more the 4 nations resemble the real world, the less fanciful it'll feel. With its 1920s New York aesthetic, The Legend of Korra was already pushing it, and then the giant mecha suit appearing during the show's finale was a bit too much in my opinion. I mean, as cool as it sounds, I really doubt that anyone wants to see an iPhone in the next Avatar story. Despite the story taking place at approximately the same time as today's world, I doubt that the technology will be exactly the same as ours. We have to remember that there was a giant spirit portal open in the Avatar world, which allowed humans and spirits to explore and interact with each other's world for the first time in 10,000 years. This really had a big effect on the Avatar universe and would definitely divert technological progression. In the world of Korra, we already saw that the spirit world offers a new source of energy that could be used for technological advancements, whether it be for benevolent or malicious purposes. I feel like the technology that will be shown in the Avatar world will be more advanced compared to us due to the fact that they will be supported by weird spirit world magic. I have no idea what to expect and how technologically more advanced the series will be, but I trust Avatar Studios and am super excited to see it. I don't think the series will be too sci-fi, but I feel like it will be something similar to that. Now let's talk about the plot and the story of the new series. One thing is clear, Korra's lost connection with the previous Avatar absolutely needs to be fixed. I could imagine this new Avatar roaming in the spirit world trying to re-establish connections with his past incarnations. This plot would make a solid first season and could be a very strong launching point for the franchise at large. I think while roaming through the spirit world, the new Avatar may meet old faces such as Princess Yue, Uncle Iroh, the Painted Lady, and my personal favorite, Ko the Face Stealer. A lot of things were left out for most of them. We know almost nothing about them. Ko even left us disappointed while he said that he would meet Aang again.
I must be going now.
We'll meet again.
But what if he meant Aang's next life, and he'll meet them in the form of the new Avatar? It would also be in character for him since he was talking to Aang like he was talking to Avatar Kuruk, his old nemesis. I also fully expect his Mother of Faces, to make her debut in the series. She is one of the most powerful ancient spirits who has the ability to give faces to living organisms, bestowing plants and animals with expressive markings. Since the dawn of time, the Mother of Faces has crafted faces for both living and non-living beings, placing a piece of herself in each face she created. It was because of her actions that separateness and identity came into the world. During this time, the Mother of Faces became estranged from her son, who later became known as Ko, the Face Stealer. I think it would be a cool moment if the new Avatar somehow managed to make the Mother of Faces and Ko meet each other and help them to resolve the problem that they had since the dawn of time. I also think that it would be an effective way to introduce new avatars, the ones we know nothing about. While I think it is impossible to re-establish the connection with every single avatar, since I think it would take a whole series to do that, I think it would be much more effective if the new Avatar met 4 random avatars rather than the 4 previous avatars, since we already know so much about them from previous shows and novels, and I think it would be too repetitive if they were in the spotlight again. For example, I am dying to know anything about this female avatar. She seems to be from the royal family of the Fire Nation, and I think it would be interesting to see a royal member being an avatar. Another person behind her even looks like the Fire Lord himself, since he seems to have a crown similar to Fire Lord's. It looks a little bigger than the one we usually see, but it isn't too unlikely that the Fire Lord's headpiece has gone through through some changes over the years. After all, the 70-year-old Fire Nation armor that the NWT had was different from the modern Fire Nation armor at the time. Maybe he was the first Fire Lord, the avatar that unified the Fire Nation. I always wanted to know more about previous avatars, and I think this is a very effective way to introduce them. Also, there is a kind of trend in the avatar cycle where each avatar inherits and ends up having to fix the greatest failure of their predecessor. To put it shortly, Roku let the war happen, so Aang had to deal with it. Aang let the air nomads die, so Korra had to get them back. Korra lost her avatar connection, so the next avatar will have to fix that. In the most recent Avatar comic that came out in December, Korra out of nowhere brings the fact that she lost her avatar connection, so this issue is clearly at the top of the minds of the Avatar writers. At the beginning, I assumed that the new avatar will only be able to communicate with Korra, and after roaming through the spirit world, they will restore the avatar cycle together. This would give Korra eternal peace, since this is what she most likely regrets the most. This will without a doubt be one of the greatest moments of the show, and Korra will finally get the finale that she deserves. Besides Korra, the characters who I am sure will make their comeback are Aang's grandkids. Every single avatar needs to master airbending, and as far as we know, the only airbending masters around are in Tenzin's family, Jinora, Ikki, Mello, and Rohan. They will definitely play a part in the next series, most likely as mentors for the next avatar. Every single avatar had their own airbending master. For example, Aang had Gyatso and Korra had Tenzin. I think if I had to choose an airbender master from Tenzin's kids, it would definitely be Jinora, since she was taking her spirituality and airbending the most seriously. However, the new story will take place decades after Korra, so who knows how they'll grow up. Another character whom I think should appear as an old and wise general should be Zuko's grandson, General Iroh. I wonder if he will reappear in the series and have a similar role as his namesake. Now let's talk about the power and abilities of this new avatar. I think it is obvious that at some point he will master all 4 elements, but before mastering it, just like every single avatar, he will most likely have one element that he finds the most difficult to master. For example, for Korra it was air, for Aang it was earth, and for Roku it was water. So it was for Kyoshi. I assume that for the new avatar it might be fire, since we haven't seen an avatar who struggled with that element. But after some time he will master all 4 elements, which will enable him to use the elemental sphere, which involves simultaneous bending of every element, and it is one of the oldest techniques to be used by the avatar. Both an offensive and defensive technique, it can be used to maintain repeated destructive attacks against opponents while also shielding the user from attacks themselves. It can also be used to entrap and restrain opponents, including spirits such as Vaatu. Also, since he is an earthbender, I expect him to master that bending at the highest level, including earthbending's sub-bending techniques such as lava bending, mud bending, metal bending, sand bending, and maybe he will even invent something new such as glass bending. Also, I feel like the connection with the new avatars will allow him to master new techniques similar to how Korra learned how to remove bending from a person with the spirit of Aang. Similar to that, the new avatar might be able to learn completely new and unique techniques from the previous avatars. Anyway, I guess this is all for today. What do you think about the new avatar? How will his story go down and how strong will he be? I enjoyed writing this video so much and have a lot of ideas about new videos about the series. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching. Lonnie Brooks out. Bye.